Today, we will talk about top 10 steps to force your way out of poverty. The Census Bureau released its annual income, poverty, and health insurance report yesterday, revealing that 4 years into the economic recovery, there has been some progress in the poverty rate, as it fell from 15% in 2012 to 14.5% in 2013. But there was no statistically significant improvement in the number of Americans living in poverty. Furthermore, low and middle-income workers have seen little to no income growth over the past decade, as the gains from economic growth have gone largely to the wealthiest Americans. 1. Create jobs. The best pathway out of poverty is a well-paying job. To get back to pre-recession employment levels, we must create 5.6 million new jobs. At the current pace, however, we will not get there until July 2018. To kickstart job growth, the federal government should invest in job creation strategies such as rebuilding our infrastructure, developing renewable energy sources, renovating abandoned housing, and making other common-sense investments that create jobs, revitalize neighborhoods, and boost our national economy. We should also build on proven models of subsidized employment to help the long-term unemployed and other disadvantaged workers re-enter the labor force. In addition, the extension of federal unemployment insurance would have created 200,000 new jobs in 2014, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Indeed, every $1 in benefits that flows to jobless workers yields more than $1.50 in economic activity. 2. Raise the minimum wage. In the late 1960s, a full-time worker earning the minimum wage could lift a family of 3 out of poverty. Had the minimum wage back then been indexed to inflation, it would be $10.86 per hour today, compared to the current federal minimum wage of $7.25 per hour. Raising the minimum wage to $10.10 per hour and indexing it to inflation, as President Barack Obama and several members of Congress have called for, would lift more than 4 million Americans out of poverty. Nearly 1 in 5 children would see their parent get a raise. 3. Increase the Earned Income Tax Credit for childless workers. One of our nation's most effective anti-poverty tools, the Earned Income Tax Credit, or EITC, helped more than 6.5 million Americans, including 3.3 million children, avoid poverty in 2012. It's also an investment that pays long-term dividends. Children who receive the EITC are more likely to graduate high school and to have higher earnings in adulthood. Yet childless workers largely miss out on the benefit, as the maximum EITC for these workers is less than 1/10 that awarded to workers with 2 children. 4. Support pay equity. With female full-time workers earning just 78 cents for every $1 earned by men, action must be taken to ensure equal pay for equal work. Closing the gender wage gap would cut poverty in half for working women and their families and add nearly $500 billion to the nation's gross domestic product. 5. Provide paid leave and paid sick days. The United States is the only developed country in the world without paid family and medical leave and paid sick days, making it very difficult for millions of American families to balance work and family without having to sacrifice needed income. Paid leave is an important anti-poverty policy, as having a child is one of the leading causes of economic hardship. Additionally, nearly 4 in 10 private sector workers and 7 in 10 low-wage workers do not have a single paid sick day, putting them in the impossible position of having to forego needed income or even their job in order to care for a sick child. 6. Establish work schedules that work. Low-wage and hourly jobs increasingly come with unpredictable and constantly shifting work schedules, which means workers struggle even more to balance erratic work hours with caring for their families. Ever-changing work schedules make accessing childcare even more difficult than it already is and leave workers uncertain about their monthly income. Furthermore, things many of us take for granted, such as scheduling a doctor's appointment or a parent-teacher conference at school, become Herculean tasks. 7. Invest in affordable, high-quality childcare and early education. The lack of affordable, high-quality childcare serves as a major barrier to reaching the middle class. In fact, 1 year of childcare for an infant costs more than 1 year of tuition at most states' 4-year public colleges. On average, poor families who pay out of pocket for child care spend 1/3 of their incomes just to be able to work. Furthermore, federal child care assistance reaches only 1 in 6 eligible children. 8. Expand Medicaid. Since it was signed into law in 2010, the Affordable Care Act has expanded access to high-quality, affordable health coverage for millions of Americans. However, 23 states continue to refuse to expand their Medicaid programs to cover adults up to 138% of the federal poverty level, making the lives of many families on the brink much harder. Expanding Medicaid would mean more than just access to health care. It would free up limited household income for other basic needs, such as paying rent and putting food on the table. 9. Reform the criminal justice system and enact policies that support successful reentry. The United States incarcerates more of its citizens than any other country in the world. Today, more than 1.5 million Americans are behind bars in state and federal prisons, a figure that has increased 5-fold since 1980. The impact on communities of color is particularly staggering. 1 in 4 African American children who grew up during this era of mass incarceration have had a parent incarcerated. Mass incarceration is a key driver of poverty. When a parent is incarcerated, his or her family must find a way to make ends meet without a necessary source of income additionally. Even a minor criminal record comes with significant collateral consequences that can serve as lifelong barriers to climbing out of poverty. For example, people with criminal records face substantial barriers to employment, housing, education, public assistance, and building good credit. 10. Do no harm. The across-the-board spending cuts, known as sequestration, which took effect in 2013, slashed funding for programs and services that provide vital support to low-income families. Sequestration cost the U.S. economy as many as 1.6 million jobs between mid-2013 and 2014. Some relief was provided this January when Congress passed the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2014, but many important tools to help low-income individuals and families pave a path to the middle class, such as adult and youth education and training programs, child welfare, and community development programs, were on a downward funding trend even before sequestration took effect. As Congress considers a continuing resolution to fund the federal government past October 1 and avoid another government shutdown, it should reject further cuts to programs and services, such as the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, or WIC, which provides vital nutrition assistance to pregnant women and mothers with new babies. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.